One of the things that I've wanted to share more about, but have actually been experiencing my own kind of paralysis around it, is how deeply connected the nervous system is to any type of chronic symptom that you have, whether that is something that is a physical symptom like chronic cystic acne, PMDD, fertility issues, or it's a symptom of like an incessant inner critic that is just always shaming you to make sure that you take action. Because I think especially in the online world, everybody just makes it seem like, oh my God, nervous system regulation is like this magic pill that will just like heal everything. And while I believe that nervous system regulation, somatic healing work, and working with your nervous system and your subconscious is the foundation of being able to be on a healing journey of true resolution, it truly is one piece of the puzzle. If people are not eating good food, if they're not working out, if they are not, depending on the person, on proper supplement protocols or working with practitioners that are actually able to address things like infections in the body, all of this burdens the nervous system. And so just doing the emotional healing work is not enough, especially if you're somebody that has had a lot of chronic health issues. And in the female body, this is even more complex. And only recently have we been understanding more about how the nervous system changes throughout the menstrual cycle, changes during pregnancy, birth, postpartum, perimenopause, and menopause. And I said this in another video recently, but I felt so much pressure to be able to communicate and to call attention to this through 15-second sound bites or 60-second videos. And I've just started to make longer videos where I talk and I don't try and necessarily create a super catchy title, because I really believe the people that are even willing to do the level of work required to truly rewire your nervous system at a fundamental level are the people that are going to be able to stick around for a 6, 7, 10-minute video to learn more. And so what I'm going to speak about for the rest of this video is this link between any chronic symptom and your nervous system, specifically in women. So what is really important to understand about the nervous system is it is literally your perception of reality, and it's the conductor of your body. So if you think about your nervous system kind of sitting at the center of your endocrine system, your lymphatic system, the way that you're, perceiving reality, and your nervous system is kind of taking all of these inputs, interpreting them based on past experiences that you've had and based on the nervous system state that you're in, and then going, this is how we're going to respond. And all of this is happening autonomically or subconsciously. And I'm going to give you an example. As somebody who has had chronic health issues for my entire life and has been using this work, plus working with other practitioners to heal autoimmune, to heal cystic acne, like this is literally no filter, day 3 of my period. And like, this is just, I literally have amazing skin now, which like if 15-year-old me could see me, fuck yeah. Anyway, to give you an example of this, I had so many stress responses associated with acne. Like I literally would feel constant anxiety when I had acne on my face because I felt so ugly. I had so much shame around it. And so even as an adult, the occasion that I do have a pimple or I break out, that stress response still exists in my body and I'll still feel it. So I literally look at a mirror and I see a pimple on my face and I feel my body constrict and tighten and I literally feel like heat rising in my body. I did not consciously choose for that to happen. That was something that my body learned to do at a very young age because having acne felt like a threat. It felt like being ugly was a threat, and this just felt like proof that there was something wrong with me. I'm sure you can relate if you have had chronic health issues. When you notice symptoms coming online, your body typically is now not only experiencing the symptom, but is experiencing a stress response related to the symptom about what that means about you and how you're so unwell and there's something wrong with you. Same thing is in relationship and attachment stuff. Is you might be somebody where you now have this awareness that you have been anxiously attached, but what happens is you feel so weird about why as soon as you like somebody, you are constantly waiting by your phone for them to text you. And maybe you are like me, because when I was younger, I was that girl that would freaking call a guy like 30 times in a row if he didn't answer. And I had an insane amount of anxiety and shame as I was doing it, but everything felt actually out of my control. When we live in this way, which most of us do because we were not taught how to properly care for our bodies, let alone the female body, let alone how all of this tracks and changes through our cycle and our different life initiations, we were not given healthy examples of relationships around us, of healthy ways of living, of healthy ways of working. So many people are in many ways like very unconsciously dysregulated. Like I was extremely functionally depressed. I was in functional freeze while I was learning a second language, while I was running a business, while I was living in Mexico, while I looked like I had it all going on. And then at night, sometimes I was like, I actually don't want to be here anymore. And then I'd wake up the next morning and be high performance. And so when we are living in these states of like really intense chronic stress, but we're super functional, it's like kind of like a mind fuck because you don't actually know how dysregulated you are, but you are. Then your nervous system, which houses your entire perception of reality, is now filtering your life, your symptoms, your health, your relationship through a constant fear and shame filter that is over personalized, meaning every single bad thing that is happening is because there is something wrong with you. You are bringing this on yourself. There's something disgusting and icky and wrong in you. And this is why I teach and talk so much about internalized shame, because this is the first layer that you have to address. And for most people, it's a layer that takes you a good couple of years to really get through. Because when we are carrying around so much internalized shame, we will be in this constant victim loop and we don't even realize. And I would actually describe it more as like a wounded energy, where we truly believe, not at a conscious level, at a subconscious level, that everything wrong that is happening to us, health issues that maybe we inherited, that I do believe can be healed, but we still inherited them, are because we're missing something. There's something about us that we haven't been able to fix. And if only we could find it, and if only we could fix it, this would go away. And it is a complete overtaking and escalation of responsibility in the wrong ways. So when all of this is happening, your physiology, your primal animal body, which is what is experiencing everything that you're experiencing through sensation, impulse, images, sensation, emotion, sense, colors, temperature, that is a constant stress and constant depletion on your physiology. And over time, this is either going to exacerbate or bring issues to the surface. So I know for me, like I had low-level autoimmune issues my entire life. And then when I went through some really fucked up shit, it brought everything to the surface because my body quite literally did not have enough capacity to digest and alchemize the experience. And so it literally just got stuck in my body because I was so under-resourced. This is where chronic symptoms start to come up. So what you need to also understand is that your nervous system innervates into your digestive organs. And then you have a lower part of your nervous system in women that innervates all throughout your pelvis. So when we're in this constant state of stress, our organs are also literally receiving this constant pressure of stress and danger. And then therefore, of course, our liver is not going to be operating at optimal capacity. We're going to struggle with fertility issues. Your nervous system is so connected to everything. How you see yourself. Your identity is literally housed in your nervous system. And I share this, and I'm sharing these longer videos because holy fuck, the reality of actually rewiring your nervous system. It is the best thing that you can do. It is life-changing. It makes the human experience worth living. And for a lot of people who have been functionally frozen and functionally depressed, you understand the feeling of like you're not suicidal, but you also don't want to be here. That is what happens when you're in an under-resourced body with way fucking too much being held by your nervous system. I lived like that for so long, and I do not feel that way anymore. And it doesn't mean that life got easier. I just actually became more well-resourced, and I started to be able to be in a place where I was able to much more consciously choose the challenges that I was taking on, because I actually am at the helm of my life now, and not in a controlling, dominant, toxic masculine kind of way, actually in a way where I'm very well-resourced in my physiology. I have learned how to work with my nervous system through the phases of my cycle. I've learned how to not be scared of my symptoms, but to actually see the wisdom in my body. I have learned to be out of victim mode or blaming capitalism or patriarchy or men for every single thing that is wrong with in my life, while also being able to have healthy anger responses to systems and things that are in place that have made it really hard for me to access real feminine health and real feminine health care, which is what I'm super passionate about bringing to women, because we, yes, are so underserved in so many ways. And being able to learn about the female nervous system centralizes everything and gives the power back to you as a woman to know what the fuck is going on in your body, and to also have a way of relating to the world around you and to your body and to your healing journey from a place that is not rooted in shame. And so I'm going to use the last 40 seconds to say that if this is what you want to learn about and you are available for this level of work, the Resource Woman Workshop that I'm teaching in 2 days on Tuesday, January 13th is the ideal place to start. I'm going to go into all of this plus more, plus practices, and you also are probably going to cry happy tears, and you're going to be around amazing women who are also doing this work, that want to be in their bodies and want to be on this healing journey.